Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here. We may be a day late, but we're still up and running and we're back in the swing of things.
Day late and $1 short.
With our weekly Q&A/update video. So as always, we'll start off with WWE Immortals. And update 2.0.0 dropped. So the current online challenge is Voodoo Bray Wyatt, and the current character challenge is Frontiersman Rusev, which is a repeat. But the real interesting part is that we have access to all the previous pay-per-view gears in the Stephanie McMahon's Gear Vault for 95,000 credits. And there's also an introduction of a lot of new characters, which are already available in the Triple H pack from 95,000 credits also. So there's Evolved Roman Reigns, Evolved Sheamus, you have Sharpshooter Bret Hart, A-List Johnny Cage, plus Evolved Randy Orton, Evolved Seth Rollins.
They were both available as rare drops in the gold pack.
Mad Scientist Bray Wyatt,
Previous challenge character.
and Animal Batista.
Previous multiplayer online reward.
Yeah, so getting them in the pack does not unlock them in the store, but besides the mistake of having the packs available, it looks like they put the wrong Bray Wyatt into the pack. So in the description of it, there's a special booster pack that includes multiplayer exclusive and rare gold pack draws, which applies to everyone in the pack except for Mad Scientist Bray Wyatt. Voodoo Bray Wyatt was the multiplayer exclusive. In any case, at only 95,000, it's a great deal because it's cheaper than the regular price gold packs, but without the extra support cards, but you can get new characters, rare characters. It's good value.
So this is the Johnny Cage that was just introduced that had the higher chance of reviving a knocked out teammate.
Which is pretty cool.
I actually like the other one better because instead of just gaining a half bar of power, he gains power faster when he tags in. And often that's worth more than a lot more than half a bar. So we've shown you Sharpshooter Bret Hart, A-List Johnny Cage,
Roman Reigns.
not bad.
So it looks like Evolved is kind of the red sun of WWE Immortals.
Sure is developing into it, eh?
Except a little bit to a lesser degree because it started out as just the more powerful, but this is kind of like a faction alignment, right? That can be buffed specifically.
Yeah. And we'll just show you there is one new gear card. Looks like it's going to be upcoming. Is it an upcoming? Maybe it's an upcoming pay-per-view. I don't know, but it's in the pay-per-view packs, the Stephanie McMahon packs. And oh, here it is, Fastlane.
And it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Based on preliminary testing, you only get the extra credits if you're the one, if that's the character doing the knocking out. And alright, so the standard cost refund is fine. Additional XP, well, I guess if they are the strongest one on the team, then they're more likely to knock them out. But they're also going to be blowing the extra XP, kind of a waste. And it's kind of a wasted slot because it doesn't really have much in the way of in-fight ability, except, you know, disabling signature 1. And that's a chance at it, which doesn't really mean much.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like it's going to be really useful as a gear to put on your heavy hitters. It has a kind of weird niche that might not actually be useful in that many circumstances. In Mortal Kombat X, nothing much is really going on, but the Faction Wars is a regular season, and the character challenge is Dark Empress Kitana. And last, but by now you probably figured out definitely not least, we have Injustice. So the current online battle is just a normal challenge, and the current character challenge is for Justice League Wonder Woman.
Not for long.
Yeah, so for just the next day, roughly, at this point.
And if you ask us who's next, we don't know. But go ahead and ask anyways.
So we'll move on to our question and answer portion. And this first one is not a question, but we wanted to discuss it a little bit. This is from Lisa Peacock. And she says, I've seen another guy that did join a network, and after that, his channel turned to crap. He just got, I don't know, but me and others unsubscribed from his channel.
Alright, so I guess the first thing is, if you can't tell already, the behind the curtain goings on for YouTube, it's really interesting to us. Obviously we don't know what happened with the other channel you're talking about, but there's at least one possible explanation why joining a network might have been the direct cause of the declining quality. So we don't have any experience being on networks, but after having been offered a lot of invitations to join networks, and then doing a bit of research and looking up different networks and the kind of experiences people have had with them, we've got a few guesses. Some network agreements require that you sign over the rights to all your videos. So not just what you're producing going forward in the future, but everything that you've put up so far. So the network can copy your most successful videos and put it on their network channel. And some networks have a fixed contract length. Some claim to have a short period after which you can opt out. But we've read enough horror stories about people being stuck in contracts that we don't really believe it. So now, in your example, so let's take a flyer. So maybe now you've got a creator who's trapped in a network that they don't like, and realizing they've lost a large part of their ad revenue. Imagine that the creator is relatively small potatoes, sort of like us, because realistically a lot of the channels that these networks target are the smaller guys. Guys, if they're bigger, not much bigger than us, because they're preying on the dreams of guys who are hoping to be the next PewDiePie, or Ant Venom, or Tobuscus.
Or I guess Toby Games if we're working on a gaming.
Oh, that's
strictly.
true, yeah.
Yeah.
And let's face it, the bigger guys don't need networks, or if they want some of the benefits of belonging to one, they have the leverage to negotiate much better agreements. And so with the big guys, yeah, they're happy to keep them because they're generating a lot of income for the networks. For the smaller guys, they just want volume, they want to churn them through, and they don't really want to do a lot of work for those small guys because it takes a lot more to make something out of it. So, again, back to the imaginary creator, so they've now lost a big part of the incentive for creating more content, at least as that particular brand. And the surprising thing won't be that the content suffers for it. The surprising thing is that they don't just walk away from it and create a brand new channel.
Yeah, because the issue is the kind of promise of the network is reciprocated benefits, right? But what you promise to sell over is real, right? When you give over a certain part of your revenue or the rights to your channel, that's a real thing that you've given to them, right? But the promises that they make you can't really be substantiated, and also for these networks don't really do anything, right? Like the promises that they're making aren't actually true, so it traps a lot of people. So our next question comes from Asualtedpeanut, and he says, how did you get your Batgirl to have 33,000 attack and 72,000 health? I got mine at level 50 and then maxed her out. Your stats are way better. Anyone help? And so, after a bit of discussion, it turns out that they were missing the Alliance support cards. So, the follow-up and question that we're going to answer here is, oh wait, you're right. Any advice on which ones I should get first? I have 71 credits.
Okay. It's a bit of a complicated answer. If you're looking to get through single-player mode, get whatever you can afford. Our preference would be for damage boost, since we like to have quick fights. Oh, and just for people who don't know, the Alliance Credit support cards are really all damage and health that apply to all the characters. And if you're trying to get through Survivor or multiplayer, honestly, maybe none of them. Both Survivor and multiplayer opponents are chosen based on your stats. And that includes any boosts, whether it's from support cards or augmentations. So boosting your stats will give you tougher opponents, which kind of negates the benefit of the support cards. And if you're working with maxed out Elite 7 level 50 gold characters already, and you're getting matched against significantly stronger opponents, then we'd say go with damage boost again, or really anything that you can get your hands on. If you look at the videos of MP and Survivor fights that we've posted, I know we're talking about Alliance credit support cards, but you'll see that in the MP and Survivor fights that there's almost a complete lack of health augmentations, except for maybe Raven, I think, and a relatively low overall team health. Some people might like having higher health characters, but we find that it drags fights out longer because of what you're getting matched up against. And it doesn't really help much with finishing them off because, your damage is just the same. You're just facing stronger guys.
Yeah, and our last question of the day comes from Lucas 2.0, and he says, do you know of other glitches to replace a switch glitch, or other useful glitches if they are patched? You don't have to say what they are. I would just like to know there is a failsafe in case something is patched.
Okay. This is an interesting question. I mean, way back when, there was a time where we were really just working with the one glitch. It was a huge one. It was a sort of a game changer for us. It was the multi-pack glitch, where you could buy a whole bunch for the price of one.
Yeah, which was ridiculous. It very easily and very quickly made it so that you would never really need to do much of anything for any character who could be bought in a pack, right?
Yeah.
And for a while there, until there was online only rewards, that was basically everybody. There was no one that money couldn't buy, right?
Yeah.
And then as it moved on, things got patched, things came back into style, right? The challenge reset glitch went through several iterations as things started and stopped working, right? And so what that really speaks to is the idea that glitches are fickle. And updates, the whole reason glitches are there in the first place is because the developers have some sort of unforeseen bit of code or unforeseen combination of different ways that the mechanics of the game work. And they come together to produce undesired effect or unforeseen effect, even if it's not undesired for the people who are using the glitch. So we really can't say when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen, for how long the current glitches will be usable, and how long future glitches, when they come up, or if they come up, will be usable either. We really just have to kind of ride the wave of updates and changes to the game itself.
Definitely. So, I guess there a couple things to keep in mind. I mean, we post glitches basically as soon as we know about them. There's nothing that we're holding back. So there's no sort of fail-safe. I mean, the danger is if you hold it back, by the time you decide, oh, now it's worth letting people know, it could already be patched. Just because it's well-known or not well-known, I'm not sure that it actually makes a huge difference in terms of when they decide to fix things. As long as they're aware that people know about it, then it's sort of in jeopardy. But you know what? Our oldest glitch, the challenge reset, has never been entirely patched. It's always been possible to reset the challenge.
Yeah.
So the other bit of advice then is if it matters to you to have enough dough, the quick tap stuff is still working right now. It's not a bad way to accumulate basically as much as you want and spend as much as you want. If it matters to you, do it now.
Yeah, it's still really efficient and a really quick way of kind of scaling up your collection to whatever level you want it to be.
And if you're afraid that in the future you're going to need to spend some more money on, I don't know, new gear, future characters, then just maybe accumulate a little bit of wealth. Save, a few million or a few tens of millions of credits.
Buy the discount gold packs when they show up, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think, you know what? You can't sort of worry too much about what's going to happen in the future. We worried that one big glitch would be replaced or be patched, and it was. And newer glitches showed up.
Yeah, hopefully the next updates will bring even more glitches that we can show as many people as possible to just get the benefits of them before they're patched.
Alright, fight's almost over. This was actually pretty drawn out considering we lost it. I wonder when Arkham Knight is going to come in and smack us with the...
Yeah, I definitely don't mind when people who are obviously having to work for the victory beat us. I guess I don't really mind ever when people beat us in online multiplayer, but it's kind of cool to see people really have to work for it, right? They earn it. So anyways, see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching.
Komoda.